How's it going? So this is gonna be a super quick one. I added this section burnout. There's generally two types of burnout. You can have physical exhaustion, so this is where your brain is just tired, and that's it. There's no other way to put it, right? Through the process of building yourself, it's like a muscle. In the beginning, you can bench, I don't know, 50 kilos, then you can bench 100, then you can bench 150. Well, 150 is probably gonna be a while until you be able to do it, but it's the same process of your brain is just gonna get tired, it rebuilds its connections, and then you get stronger, right? It's kind of like breaking bone, it recovers, it becomes stronger. It's typical human building process, right? So this is when you reach physical exhaustion, you need to just basically take a chill pill, right? You need to walk away from everything, just watch movies, I don't know, go somewhere, go swimming, fishing, whatever the hell you want to do. I don't know, some people do go fishing, right? Visit family, right? It's just like this is the process that you have to find that disconnects you from. It's like you are on and then you're off. The worst scenario is the gray zone, right? When you're not working and not resting. That's the worst. You want to either you're working or you're resting. So when you're resting, you don't want to be thinking about work, and that is something you need to find. So for example, for me, it's like either computer games or watching YouTube or watching series. It needs to be something engaging, but not taxing. Does that make sense? It's like, because you don't want to go to the gym. Some people go to the gym, dude, you're gonna get even more tired, right? Because gym is very difficult. It has to be a recovery process. You have to be recharged. It's like a battery, right? And you're gonna need to experiment with a lot of stuff. Like I tried a lot of different things, and for me, I ended up being just watching movies. Basically, is the best way for me. And be okay with being bored. Now, if your brain is annoying you, you probably need to use cards like Trello, or I have it in section in here, task prioritization, to-do lists, you see. You want to use Trello, and then anything in your head, you want to clear it as fast as possible and convert it into to-do cards, right? So your brain is always empty of tasks. It's just doing tasks from the cards. Because you see, like sometimes people keep stuff in their head and that just overloads your memory, and it's not good. I'll probably put a note in here. Make sure not to keep any tasks in memory. Always convert them into to-do cards and put them into Trello or Google Calendar, right? Because you have enough on your plate anyway, so you don't want anything in your memory, just buffer. Basically, like clear the memory buffer. Otherwise, it's gonna start annoying you. Okay, the second type of exhaustion is called mental exhaustion. So this is when you disconnect from your purpose. Sometimes, I don't know, some kind of event happens, or I don't know, you've been doing it for a while, you haven't visited your goals or your mission statement or whatever, and you just feel like, why am I doing this? I don't know, it's just some days you just feel like, why the hell am I doing this? Like, why am I here? Like, what's the purpose of all of this shit, right? Now, that, when your head starts to do that, that means your probably mental energy has been depleted, right? That's spiritual energy. So this is where you probably need to revisit your why statement. Like, you need to have a mission statement. So my mission statement is like, leave this world better than I found it. So every time this kicks in, my mission statement kicks in and I can keep going. It's been like, it happened to me multiple times, but over time, you need to know, why are you doing this? Like, what's the benefit to you? What's the benefit to society? What are your goals? And then what's your mission statement, basically? Fundamentally, like, why did you start this path? And why are you doing it? And that's it. Once you can answer that, you kind of, you recover. Sometimes mentors also help. like mentors and mentors and what's the name? I'm trying to figure out. It's like the person you follow. Role models. Yeah. Role model figures are very good in here. So you see, like some. I like to follow like Thunderfoot, for example. He's a scientist. Richard Dawkins, he's a scientist. I found a new channel. Let me just find. Yeah, I found it last week tonight. Like Oliver, John Oliver, he has very, like, he's entertaining and informative and factual at the same time. So he's kind of like a version of CoffeeZilla in a way. So he's trying to cautious you into like how stuff works and how companies do weird shit, and his thoughts on how things should be different, I suppose, right? It's just another flavor of CoffeeZilla, I suppose. Very interesting stuff. And then, like, Patrick Boyle is another one, right? So, you see a lot of people trying to make this world better, so you're kind of always connected to that. And generally, like, STEM professions are good because everything you do makes a difference in life. That's why I recommend going to STEM professions, because, I mean, if you're working some kind of salesperson and you're trying to, you know, your product is not the best, and you're trying to still sell it, I mean, that's gonna get you a little bit, you know, in the long run. Or you're some kind of solicitor who is like scamming people, because solicitors have multiple ways to scam people, and they're doing it, you know, and it's not good, right? This will take a hit if you're doing it. Like sociopaths struggle with this stuff because ultimately, like, they understand what they're doing, and when they get old and they start thinking long term, it really, really dawns on them that they are not gonna be here, but the society will, and they've done nothing but make it worse. Do you know what I mean? That is kind of like if you go into, you start digging into this whole process of, you know, why people commit suicides or why people, you know, become depressed or they have mental issues, even though they're so successful, is because one thing is getting wealth. The second way is how did you acquire wealth? That's a very, 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 very sensitive topic, and a lot of people don't acquire wealth. They acquire it questionably. Do you know what I mean? Like, is that really worth it? I don't think so, right? But okay. So yeah, that's about it. Another thing I added in here was in supplements. Beverages. I changed that. So black tea, decaf coffee definitely works. Now this one I use rarely, but occasionally I drink it. It's fine. And the new one is Coca-Cola, no caffeine and no sugar. Definitely works. Now your body doesn't like it, so you might be going, like, your body's not very good at absorbing aspartame. And one sec. Yeah, so you can see in here the like Coke Zero. That's the one you want. But also decaffeine. Decaffeine is basically decaf beans, so it's very easy to understand how it's made. It's basically Coke Zero only with decaf beans. That's it. So aspartame and I don't know what the hell that is. Values are going to be the same. So I did an analysis for your recommended daily allowance, and you cannot overdose on this stuff. It's just, there's no way to do it. Like, recommended daily allowance is just so high. You have to drink 24 liters just to get your RDA of aspartame. And you also have to factor in that your body doesn't absorb it really well, so it's gonna get flushed out. You notice if you drink a lot, well, I mean, yeah, you'll just notice that your body's just gonna flush it out very, very quickly. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I mean, in here you have to drink 16.5 liters, so it's very hard to overdose it on this stuff. And then phosphorus as well. Your body, unless you have some kind of kidney infection, your body is just gonna push out the excess, so there is really no... Because you see, some people think, oh, you know, kind of like... They think that these are chemicals and they're cancer-causing. Now, you have to understand that the most important thing when you're thinking about supplements, you're talking about food, you're talking about vitamins, you're talking about like chemicals, right? Is this concept here. I probably talked about it before. It's called LD50, lethal, median lethal dosage. In certain quantities, there's aspartame actually here. In certain quantities, everything is bad. Like we're talking, this is why I wrote it in here. I'll probably put it in the description below, but, well, not description, but I'll probably put it somewhere here. Let me just put it. Coca-Cola study. So you see, you have, for example, if you drink 6 liters of water in 3 hours, a lot of humans just die. This happened to Marines. They were going through. These are like trained Marines, Navy SEAL guys, right? They were going through deserts, and their dehydration, like their body was losing so much water at such rapid rate. They had to drink and drink and drink and drink, and they got water intoxication, and a lot of them died. You can also test it yourself. You will notice your body will start complaining. Get an industrial dehumidifier and try to sleep with it on, right? Your body will start losing a lot of water, and then try drinking. You'll be drinking like 1 liter every hour, and then eventually like to a lot more. And you will notice that your body will be like, oh my god, like it's like as if you're damaging yourself by drinking water. Yet water is very, very important for your survival. Do you know what I mean? People recommend drinking water, but in a lot of quantities it can be bad for you. So I'm saying is that when somebody tells you, oh, this is cancer causing, this is bad for you, blah blah blah, the first question is at what quantities? Because you can take beta carotene, which is vitamin A, I think, right? It's cancer causing vitamin. If you eat a lot of it, it will cause actual cancer in your body. But yet people recommend, and beta carotene is found in vitamins, like vegetables, right? All the healthy food has beta carotene. But then, right, so you're recommended to eat something that can cause cancer. But if you look at how much you have to eat in order for this cancer to trigger, it's absolutely insane amounts. I mean, it's physically impossible to eat that much, right? So don't worry. A lot of companies are trying to scare you because there is a rule in sales. If we can scare you, we can sell you, right? So always ask the question, what is the medium dosage? What is the LD50 for what they're talking about? Because I mean, you see like there's like stuff like lactose, right? You can drink a lot of milk and die from it, right? And milk is quite healthy. Vitamin C, you can die from vitamin C. Corn syrup, or sucrose is well, that's stable sugar. Glucose, let's see. Vitamin D3, you can die from vitamin D3 as well. So again, you see, like what I'm saying is that, you know, somebody's like, yeah, you know, it's cancer causing. LD50, what's the LD50 for it, right? Most of that stuff is already tested, so if it's on product shelves, I'm talking like in regulated countries, like Europe, for example, it's probably already tested, so you don't have to worry about, unless you're buying in a dodgy shop. I'm talking like if you go into normal retailer that is regulated, I don't think you have to worry about it because they already tested, and lethal dosage for it is going to be so high you physically cannot consume that much. Okay, so that's it. So to sum up, I added burnout. 2 ways to burn out: physical, where you're just exhausted, in that case take a break; mental exhaustion, your spiritual energy is down. Connect with your why. Role models, mentors are very important. Write down your goals and remember why you're doing it, okay? And then for supplements, motivation, access to 3 beverages, quite nice. Take care, bye bye.